My motivation for supporting scholarship is simple. Booth changed the course of my career. I remain grateful to the individuals that supported me when I attended Booth. Without their support, I would not have been able to attend. I hope that my matching gift will inspire other alumni that care deeply about our students and Booth's success. I find it extremely rewarding to positively impact the student's life and enable those with diverse backgrounds a chance for a Booth education. During the Boundless campaign, I spoke to many fellow alumni who each had unique reasons for supporting scholarship. One was interested in seeing women in finance, another to support evening students, knowing that many employers no longer provide tuition reimbursement for students that continue to work while going to Booth at night. Whatever your motivation is for giving, thank you for your generosity.
Booth was a top choice for me. And not only was it the financial factor of sitting there and seeing that less of a financial gap, and it honestly also motivated me more as I was going through my decisions, and to see that someone out there believed in me and thought that I deserved this scholarship. It was a motivation for me to say, I'm not only going to choose Booth, I'm going to come in here and do as much as I possibly can to make the most of this so I can be that person someday. I think the leadership curriculum really sets Booth apart. I know that Dean Rajan said that it's new, but the studio that Faina has already talked about, and the practicum, and being a lead facilitator, being able to teach a class your second year, I think really set Booth apart for me. And I think the second thing that in my mind sets Booth apart is the lab courses. So I know some of the peer schools do have those lab courses, but the social impact practicum, to be able to go to India, I know during COVID, some of that has changed, but having those lab courses and work with companies in the Chicago area and globally, I think was very unique, and only a few of the peer schools had it.
I knew everybody was going to be really smart, obviously, but in my interview for Booth, my interviewer had worked in the entertainment industry before, and he said one of the biggest things was coming from a place where everybody's trying to impress everyone all the time to a place where like people are not trying to constantly impress you. They're just trying to learn. I 100% agree with what my interviewer said there. It's been great to like work with people who are very humble, while also being incredibly intelligent.
I knew that I could expect a pay it forward culture. I think every program that I spoke to liked to brag about their pay it forward culture. But coming into Booth, again, I expected it, but I didn't really realize what it would look like. So in short, it's been really incredible. For example, I think it was the first weekend that AAMBA, which is the African American MBA Association, with HABSA, the Hispanic American Business Students Association, put on a virtual event that was just meant to, impart all of the knowledge that the second years had to first years that they had wished they'd known when they came in. And so, I walk in the door, and the first weekend I'm getting all this great knowledge, and got to, meet outside in a socially distanced and safe way for a brief toast afterwards. And that's just, one example of the pay it forward culture. And from that point on, it's really exploded through, consulting, recruiting, support, and people that I've met along the way, just being willing to go above and beyond to make sure that we feel supported and have advice whenever we need it.
The generosity of the donor that's really helped me choose Booth and be able to come here has kind of put me in this role to gave me this goal that I want to do that when I graduate, after I have more years in as a consultant and beyond, to be able to financially help. My background, I immigrated to the United States after the collapse of the Soviet Union. My family grew up poor. We lived in public housing. I would have never thought I would go to a place like the University of Chicago. And now, because of the scholarship support, I don't have to think about, paying down student loans for the next 50 years. I can think about building generational wealth for my family, my siblings, my parents, owning property for the first time in our family history. So that the meaning of the scholarship and the support to both me and my family, like I know the impact of that. So to be able to give that to someone else is going to be one of my goals as I graduate and think about, now that you've become more successful, what can you do to pass that on, pass that amazing gift to someone else, knowing how impactful it is.